Hello friends, so today I'm going to start rule of inferences for propositional logic. So we'll see what are the rule of inferences. Okay, so let us begin with the topic. Our today's topic is rule of inferences. Okay, so today we'll see rule of inferences for propositional logic. In the next lecture we'll see rule of inferences for quantified statements. Okay, so these are very important. So in the last lecture we discussed argument. So I hope everybody clear with argument. What is argument? Okay, so I clearly define what is argument. Our topic of today's is rules of inference. Rules of inference for propositional logic. That is the topic. Rule of inferences for propositional logic, isn't it? So we'll see what is rule of inference. So guys, we can say that let us take some, we can say that some standard, or we can say that some relatively, we can say that valid arguments are called rule of inference. So we'll see, we can say that some standard arguments are known as what? Rule of inferences. And these arguments, or we can say that these simple arguments which are known as a rule of inferences, we can say that are used as building blocks to construct a more complex arguments, isn't it? So we can say that a rule of inferences are some basic, or we can say that some standard arguments which are valid. These are known as a rule of inferences, and these rule of inferences means these standard arguments are used as a, we can say that building blocks to construct more complex valid arguments, isn't it? So write down, we'll see how to construct complex arguments and all. So write down first what is the definition. So we can say that some valid arguments, okay, are called, we can say that, rules of inference, isn't it? And we can say that these rules can be, we can say that, used as building blocks to construct more complicated or complex, we can say that, valid arguments, isn't it? So we'll see some simple, or we can say that what are the rule of inferences, isn't it? So we can say that some standard arguments, these are valid arguments known as rule of inferences, and these are used as a basic block to construct more complicated valid arguments, isn't it? So we'll see one by one. So we will construct one table. So you can take three columns in the table. First one is a rule of inference. Okay, so all rule of inferences are what? Valid arguments. We'll see whether it is a tautology or not, and then we'll see what is the name of that particular rule of inference. So I already told you guys in the last lecture that we can say that conjunction of all premises followed by conclusion is a tautology. Then we can say that then we can say that that particular argument is valid, otherwise invalid. Okay, so let us take one by one. So we'll see first one. Okay, so first one is, let's say this is the argument P, this is first premise. Then second one, P implies Q, therefore Q, isn't it? So we'll see, all rule of inferences are valid. You can check it. How to check it? We can say that take the conjunction of all, we can say that premises. This is the conjunction. Conjunction means and operation. Whole implies to Q. You can verify this one is a tautology. isn't it? And what is the name of this rule of inference? The name of this rule of inference is modus ponens. Modus ponens. You can easily check. Yes, you can check. Let us take this one becomes, we can say that P dot P dash plus Q. We can write P implies Q as a P dash plus Q. Yes or no? I already told in the previous lectures. So guys, remember one thing, all previous lectures are very important. If you want to directly, yes, you will directly watch this video, then it will be very difficult. So it is my suggestion that please watch the, yes, previous lectures also, so that it will be clear to you guys. Otherwise there will be a difficulty. Okay, so we can say that this implies, we can say that Q. Now let's say this is X, this is Y, then X implies Y is again X dash Y. So before that we can simplify, yes, inner part, that is P dash plus PQ. Yes or no? Then we can say that this becomes implies, we can say that if implication is simplified, that it becomes a complement of entire left hand side plus right hand side. Now P dash becomes 0, and this PQ whole complement becomes what? P dash plus Q. So we can check Q plus Q dash, that is 1, and P dash plus 1 is 1 only. So we can say that 1 means this is tautology. Yes, 1 is written in Boolean, and in logic we use the, yes, true value for 1. So this is tautology. So we can say that this is valid argument. Otherwise you can, yes, you can check for, yes, we can say that in that manner also. Yes, assume all premises to be true. So for P1 to be true, P must be true, and if P is true, then Q must be true. For, yes, the, we can say that P2 to be true, Q must be true. Now you can check whether, yes, with these assumptions conclusion is true or not. Yes, we assume Q to be true. So we can say that when we assumed, yes, all premises to be true, then with the same assumption Q is also true. Yes or no? So we can say that this is valid argument. So some valid arguments are known as rule of inference. So this rule of inference is what? Modus ponens. Remember guys, this one is modus ponens. Okay. Okay, write down next one in the continuation. Second one, you only tell me, yes, just continue this table. Yes, first premise is given to you negation Q, and then second premise is given to you P implies Q, therefore conclusion is given to you negation P, isn't it? So you can check this one also, conjunction of all premises. Yes, we can say that what will be the conjunction of all premises? Negation Q, and we can say that P implies Q. Yes, whole implication, yes, we can say that negation P, that is what we can say that tautology. You can, yes, easily check, this one will be the tautology only, isn't it? Okay, and this one is known as what? This rule of inference is known as, the name of this one is modus tollens. Modus tollens, isn't it? This is modus tollens, isn't it? So you can easily check, this one is also a tautology. Okay, right, third one, yes, let's say P implies Q, this is first premise. Second one is Q implies R, then we can say that P implies R. This one is also valid, yes, argument. So take the conjunction, yes, P implies Q, yes, and conjunction means and, then Q implies R, you can see whole implication P implies R. Yes, be careful with brackets guys, isn't it? So this one you can check, this one is tautology. Yes, you can simplify, the truth value will be 1, or we can say that true. And this one is known as what? This one is, the name of this rule of inference is hypothetical syllogism. Syllogism, isn't it? Syllogism. So this one is third one, this is the third one. Next one we can say that fourth one, yes, let's say next one, that is P or Q, then negation P, yes, therefore we can say that Q. Yes, so we can say that, yes, conjunction of all premises, that is P or Q and negation P, whole implies Q, this one will be the tautology. You can verify, you simplify this one, you will see this one is a tautology, isn't it? Or you can make the truth table. After constructing the truth table, yes, last column will be what? All truths, isn't it? So we can say that this one is tautology. So these are, we can say that some well known, yes, valid arguments. So some well known or simple arguments, valid arguments are known as what? A rule of inferences. Okay, and these are used to construct, we can say that some complicated valid arguments. We'll see how to construct yes, some complicated valid arguments, isn't it? Okay, the name of this one is what? This is a disjunctive syllogism. So write down, this one is disjunctive syllogism, isn't it? Let us take, yes, we can say that the way how to prove it. Yes, let us assume the premise is to be true. Yes, we can do in this manner also, but be careful. If you are assuming premises to be true, then various methods or various assumptions may be there for which all premises are true. So we can see that for all those combinations for which premises are true, then in every case conclusion must be true. For all those, yes, combinations, then only we'll say that is valid. If it is one combination like that in which premises are true for that assumption, and for that assumption, yes, we can say that conclusion is false, then we cannot say that that is valid argument. Remember guys, okay? So yes, you only tell me for P2 to be true, P must be false, so negation of false will be true. Now we assume P to be false. Now what must be Q? Q must be true, then only we can say that P1 will be true. So with these assumptions, yes, we can say that Q is what? Q, we assumed Q to be true. So we can say that when, yes, premises are assumed to be true, then conclusion is always true. So we can say that this is tautology, isn't it? Okay, isn't it? So we can say that, okay. So we can say that this one is your disjunctive syllogism. Okay, so moving to the next one. That is your fifth one. Yes, you only tell me. Fifth one is only one premise is given and therefore P or Q. Yes, we can say that this one is valid argument or not. Yes or no? So we can say that conjunction of only one premise is there implies, we can say that P or Q, you can check this one is a tautology, isn't it? Okay, now yes, you can see, yes, for premise, this premise to be true, we need to assume P to be true, and if P is true, then whatever be the value of Q, this conclusion will be true only because OR operation is there in between. Yes or no? So this is tautology. So we can say that the name of this rule of inference is addition, isn't it? Next one, sixth one, we can say that P and Q, only one premise is given. Therefore, we can say that P, yes, this one is also valid argument. So conjunction of premises followed by yes implies, we can say that P, this one is tautology. You can simplify and check it. Okay, and this rule of inference is known as simplification. Next one, seventh one, we can say that seventh one is PQ. Two premises are there, then conclusion is P and Q. This one is also yes conjunction of all premises whole implies yes conclusion, that is P and Q. You can check, this one is also tautology, and this rule of inference is known as what? Conjunction, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. And next one is eighth one. Let's say P or Q, then negation P or R, two premises are given to you. Therefore, Q or R, this one is also valid argument. So we can say that P or Q, yes, and with we can say that negation P or R, whole implies Q or R. You can check, this one will be the tautology only, and the name of this rule of inference is resolution, isn't it? So yes, we can say that these are rule of inferences for propositional logic, isn't it? So we can say that these are the, yes, a rule of inferences, isn't it? So how to use these rule of inferences to construct the, yes, complicated valid arguments, we'll see one by one by taking some examples, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to start one by one. Okay. Let us take one example. Okay. Yes, let us take one example. Let's say one example is given to you. Let's say state which rule of inference is the basis of the following argument. One argument is given to you of the following argument. One argument is given to you. Let's say, yes, the argument is what? It is below freezing and raining now, isn't it? Therefore, it is below freezing now. That is the given argument. Now you only tell me, guys, this is the given argument. So we can say that, let's say, yes, consider, yes, propositional variable. Let's say P be the, yes, we can say that one proposition which represents what? We can say that it is below freezing now. It is below freezing now. Let us take one more proposition Q which represents it is raining now. Now whatever is written after therefore, that is your conclusion. So you only tell me the argument is what? You only tell me the argument is of the form, we can say that the argument is of the form, we can say that, yes, one premise is there, that is P and Q, and therefore P, you only tell me this one is valid or not. Yes, this is valid. And yes, we can say that which rule of inference is there. You only tell me. Can we say that this one is a simplification? Yes or no? Yes, this one is simplification. So we can say that yes, this one is, or the basis of this one is simplification. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Now next example, let us consider one more example. Let us take next example. Let's say check the validity of the following argument. One argument is given to you and we need to check the validity, isn't it? That is the question. Now you only tell me, let's say given argument is negation P and Q, isn't it? Next one is, let's say R implies P, then negation R implies S, then S implies T, isn't it? Remember guys, this negation has highest priority or not? So yes, we cannot say that this negation is applicable to the entire statement. No, negation P means it is negation P, the scope is P only, because negation has highest priority. If brackets are given, then we can say that this negation will be applicable to the entire, yes, entire statement, isn't it? So be careful. So we can say that, yes, let's say, yes, S implies T, therefore T. This is given to you, isn't it? So yes, we can say that here four premises are given, P1, P2, then we can take P3 and P4, isn't it? So we can say that four premises are given. So if this one is valid argument, now what will be the, yes, we can say that the conjunction of all premises, yes, to whole implies, yes, conclusion, that is T, that must be true. Yes or no? So let us take, yes, first one is what we can say that negation P and Q. Then second one we can say that R implies P. And third one we can say that that is negation R implies S. And fourth one is S implies T, whole implies T. That must be a tautology. Yes or no? Then only we can say that the argument is valid, otherwise argument is invalid. Isn't it? Okay. So simplify this one. So I already told you guys. Yes, yes, we can say that change all the logical notations into Boolean algebra notation. So it will be, yes, we can say that it will be, yes, less time taking. Isn't it? So I am converting all logical, yes, operators into Boolean. Yes, meaning is same. So negation P means we can say that P dash Q and means dot. Isn't it? Then we can say that and means dot. Yes, R implies P becomes what? R dash plus P. And then we can say that this becomes R dash dash double complement R only, R plus S only. And this one becomes S dash plus T. Whole implies, remember, whole implies, yes, we can say that T. Yes or no? Now let's say this is your x and this is y, then it becomes x implies y, and the simplify, after simplification it is x dash plus y. Yes or no? Now you only tell me if this is x dash y. Now you only tell me, yes, we can write it like that or not. Yes, P dash Q R dash plus P R plus S, S dash plus T, yes, whole complement plus T, yes or no? Now simplify this one. So after simplification, it becomes what? We can say that P dash Q R dash, yes, yes, then we can say that, yes. This is, we can say that R S dash plus RT plus ST, yes, whole complement plus T, isn't it? Yes, this becomes this one. Yes, here P dash becomes, yes, after multiplication 0. So one term will be there with all these terms, isn't it? So after further simplification, it becomes what? P dash Q R dash S T whole complement plus T. So yes, apply De Morgan's law. So it becomes P plus Q dash plus R plus S dash plus T dash plus T. Yes, we can say that this T plus T dash becomes 1, and 1 plus anything is 1 only, and 1 means we can say that true, and true means it is tautology. Yes or no? So hence we can say that a given argument is, we can say that a valid argument. Hence we can say that this one is valid argument. Okay. So yes, how to do, yes, this question step by step, or we can say that this given argument is valid and this one is complicated argument. So we will see how this, yes, we can say that how this particular valid argument is constructed. What was the logic behind that? Okay. So how, yes, rule of inferences are used to create this type of complicated valid argument. So we'll see step by step. Remember guys, so I'm writing again. Okay. In the next slide, I am writing again. So be careful. Okay. Next one. So remember guys, so yes, given argument is what? We can say that negation P and Q, and R implies P. Then we can say that negation R implies S. Then S implies T. Therefore, we can say that T, that was the given argument. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Now you only tell me guys if this one is clear to everyone. Now you only tell me, yes, we'll see how to construct this valid argument with the help of rules of inference. Okay, isn't it? Rules of inference. Yes, you can apply this subjective method, yes, by rules of inferences in your semester examinations, but it will be very time taking and it will be very difficult to strike you guys. Isn't it? For any exams, we can say that like GATE, this is not required. Simply whatever the method we discussed, yes, that is sufficient. Okay, but yes, we need to see how to construct. Okay, so first one you only tell me, yes, these premises or hypotheses are, yes, there. So first step we will see step by step. You only tell me. We'll take first step. Step one. You only tell me, guys. Yes, you only tell me. Yes, first step is what we can say that negation P and Q. This is a hypothesis or premises given to you. Here we'll specify the region. What is the region behind that? So here this is premise, yes, given to you, or we can say that this one is hypothesis. Hypothesis or premise, same thing is there. Now you only tell me, yes, you only tell me, yes, if we apply the simplification rule, you only tell me, yes, second, you only tell me, yes, P and Q, therefore we can say that P, that was your simplification rule. So yes, we can say that instead of P, here negation P is there. So negation P is there, then it is also negation P. Yes or no? So what will be the conclusion? We can say that negation P. So from first premise, we can say that this is the conclusion, and by using the simplification, yes, by using the simplification, yes, using first premise, yes or no? So simplification rule is applied using one means by using first premise, or we can say that on first premise, isn't it? I hope this one is clear. Next one you only tell me, yes, next hypothesis is what we can say that next, let's say next hypothesis or premise is what we can say that R implies P. Yes or no? Now you only tell me this is R implies P. You only tell me what is modus tollens. You only tell me yes, this was the modus tollens or not. P implies Q, therefore negation P. You can see this one was the modus tollens. Yes or no? Yes, guys, tell me this was the modus tollens or not? Yes, tell me, or not? Yes, that was the modus tollens or not? No, this only was not the modus tollens. Yes, one statement was also there, that is negation P. Yes or no? Yes, you can check in the previous slides. Yes. Yes, here you can check, that is modus tollens. Negation Q. Yes, that was the correct negation Q. P implies Q, therefore negation P. That was the, we can say that, yes, modus tollens. Okay. Now you only tell me, yes, if we consider second and third premises together, then can we apply, you only tell me, yes, can we apply, yes, modus tollens, yes or no? So here we can say that modus tollens is what? Yes, you only tell me what is modus tollens. Modus tollens is negation P. Then we can say that Q implies, yes, let's say that is P. Therefore, we can say that what is the conclusion? Negation Q. That was the modus tollens, yes or no? So we can apply modus tollens on second and third or not? Yes. So we can apply second and third. We can apply modus tollens. Then the result will be what? Negation R. Yes or no? So we used what? We can say that we used modus tollens. Yes or no? On, we can say that on second and third. Yes or no? Isn't it? Next one you only tell me. Next fifth one, let's say our hypothesis is what? This one, third one. This one is your hypothesis. Yes or no? This one is hypothesis. Isn't it? You only tell me. Yes, can we apply? Yes, again you only tell me modus ponens. Yes or no? Just to see what is modus ponens. So we can use modus ponens. Yes, you only tell me. Yes, modus ponens on, we can say that on, we can say that fourth and fifth. Yeah, so what will be the conclusion? Yes, we can conclude as here. Yes or no? That was the structure of modus ponens. So we applied fourth, yes, modus ponens in fourth and fifth. Then conclusion will be the sixth only. Yes or no? Next one, you only tell me. Seventh one, our hypothesis was S implies T. Fourth hypothesis. Yes or no? This one we can say that this one is hypothesis. Yes or no? Now apply. Yes, you only tell me again modus ponens. Yes, you only tell me. Yes, in we can say that 6 and 7. So 6 and 7, yes, apply the modus ponens, then what will be the conclusion? T. Yes or no? And we have to conclude T only. Yes or no? So we can say that by applying or by using some rule of inferences, yes, we reached to the, yes, we can say that our conclusion. That's why we can say that this one is your, yes, we can say that a valid argument. Hence, we can say that the argument is valid, isn't it? So we can say that by applying, yes, whatever the rule of inferences are present, yes, by applying these of rule of inferences, if we able to reach to the conclusion, then we can say that the given argument is valid, otherwise that is invalid. So in the semester point of view, you can apply this subjective, yes, pattern. We can say that this method you can apply, yes, by using, yes, rule of inferences. But for any competitive exams like GATE or any other exam, PSU exams, this one will be the, yes, we can say that time taking, as well as you need to remember all rule of inferences. But there is no need to remember any rule of inferences. Yes, we can say that because we know one method for the validity of argument. Conjunction of all premises, whole implies conclusion must be a tautology. If it is tautology, then we can say that the argument is valid, otherwise the argument is not valid, isn't it? So don't go for this method, but you need to, yes, we can say that it should be, yes, known to you guys. Yes or no? Otherwise, yes, you will see, yes, some imaginary, yes, kind of thing will be there. You will see how to use, what is the meaning of rule of inferences, and yes, why we define these rule of inferences. So various, we can say that doubts you can have. That's why, yes, I give you this approach, how to construct any complicated valid argument. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So this was the, we can say that a rule of inferences for propositional logic. Yes or no? So we can say that these rule of inferences are for what? Propositions only. Yes or no? And we can say that yes, we build some valid arguments using these rule of inferences. Now in the next lecture we'll see, yes, rule of inferences for quantified statements. That is also important. Okay guys, I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, thank you so much.